Wait, you're a Bears fan and you're not subscribed to my channel? Before this video starts, make sure to 1. Hit the subscribe button below to catch all Bears content right here on this podcast. 2. Hit the bell notification because you, my friend, are a diehard Bears fan. And 3. Like this video and tell all the Bears fans you know about the channel. Alright, that's better. Now that you're actually subscribed to the channel, make sure to bear down and enjoy this video.
Now this is a podcast all about Bears. You either cheering for this team or just pulling your hair. I like to take a minute, just sit right back and tell you how I became the #1 Bears fan. That boy is Benny Hunter. Cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic. People, this the intro. Sacramento, California, born and raised. And Antelope is where I spend most of my days. You talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
What is going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic. Before I get this episode started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram page at Keek on the Mic. Make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. So I'm super excited. I'm finally back. I know that I've been missing in action for the last couple of days, but I am finally back for a brand new episode of Keek on the Mic. As you guys know, Chicago Bears OTAs are still going on. So this is actually week 2, and for the most part, the Chicago Bears weren't allowing media to view the practice, but that changed as of this week. So I wanted to come on and give some of the Bears fans that may not know what's going on or not in the loop, I want to give you guys an update of what is going on in the Chicago Bear OTAs. And it's pretty good stuff, you know. For the most part, when you're looking at OTAs, you know, you're not usually your full team is not there. Maybe you're missing a couple of stars, which is the case for the Chicago Bears. But for the most part, a lot of the Chicago Bears media is raving about how good OTAs actually looked. So we're going to start off with, of course, rookie quarterback Justin Fields. He continues to showcase his deep ball and his accuracy, and his teammates are beginning to take notice, which it's no surprise. Even when the media wasn't able to view, Matt Nagy said straight up that his deep ball is looking great. We love everything about Justin Fields, and like we all know already, Justin Fields is turning out to be, hopefully, a really, really good pick. But this is what Darnell Mooney had to say about Justin Fields. It's a beautiful deep ball. He's very accurate with the ball. Mooney also added that he was smiling mid-route when he realized the ball was placed perfectly. For Darnell Mooney to say that is huge. You know, that means he's starting to create that connection with his receivers. I said this in a past video. If Justin Fields is able to create a connection with his top receivers, which Darnell Mooney is rightfully the #2 receiver on the Bears depth chart. Obviously, we haven't seen Justin Fields with Allen Robinson yet. But if he's able to continue to impress his offensive teammates, I will truly feel that Justin Fields will win the QB1 job. So that's good to see from one of our top receivers in Darnell Mooney. And it wasn't just Darnell Mooney. Matt Nagy has said it multiple times. I think it was running back Damian Williams even said something about he ran a route and it was a perfect back shoulder throw in like a cover 2, and it was like a tight window and he fit it in there perfectly. So Justin Fields' accuracy is very, very good. And not only is the media raving about it, but his teammates are starting to take notice, and that is very good news, I guess, for us Bears fans and the entirety of the Chicago Bears organization. So now moving on to Andy Dalton, because I can't just talk about Justin Fields and not talk about Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton has been struggling a bit. As of Wednesday's practice, he threw 3 interceptions in some 7-on-7 drills. So I'm not going to say, okay, whatever. He threw 3 picks. It happens. It's learning curves, right? He still has to learn the Chicago Bears offense just like Justin Fields. And there is one thing I did leave out. Justin Fields did fumble 2 snaps today. So Justin Fields is not perfect, people. And Andy Dalton is not perfect. Obviously, there's still this debate if you want Justin Fields or if you want Andy Dalton. But Andy Dalton, to me, will get better as he learns the offense, and he will compete, and he will still be up to start week 1. And Matt Nagy has made it very clear that Andy Dalton is QB1 while Justin Fields is QB2. Will that change? we don't know. We're going to have to see if Justin Fields keeps showcasing his skills and impressing the coaches and his teammates. It could be very well that Justin Fields is QB1 for that Week 1 Sunday night opener against the Los Angeles Rams. Roquan Smith remains the only defensive starter to show up for OTAs. I believe Deshaun Gibson actually did show up as of this week. That is nothing to be worried about as a Bears fan. These are voluntary, so you're not forced to come. And I do know Matt Nagy did mention that guys like Khalil Mack, Danny Trevathan, Eddie Jackson are all on Zoom meetings, so they're still engaged. They're just not going to show up until it's mandatory to show up. So there's nothing to be concerned about, but obviously there's a lot of rave about Roquan Smith coming into the season. Obviously last year he got snubbed from a Pro Bowl, so I'm expecting Roquan Smith to come out with some sort of vengeance, so some sort of chip on his shoulder, and prove that we already know this, but for him to prove to other people around the NFL that he is one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL. So I'm super excited. I'm glad Roquan Smith is showing up, putting in some solid work for this upcoming season. Reporters have also been saying, as they are able to watch this week's OTAs at practice, they are saying that Marquise Goodwin and Cole Kmet have been some standout offensive players for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, Marquise Goodwin, I love that signing because he's able to stretch the field with his exceptional speed. Obviously, Cole Kmet is a second-year tight end out of Notre Dame. Obviously, he was Jimmy Graham's backup last year, but I fully expect Cole Kmet to take over that number 1 tight end role. So I'm super excited that these guys are showing up. Obviously, I see Marquise Goodwin playing a big role not only in the offense, but maybe special teams. And obviously, if Cole Kmet can step up and be that number 1 tight end and produce in a big way for the Chicago Bears offense, you still have Jimmy Graham that would probably still produce pretty good numbers. You have to remember that Jimmy Graham last season did catch 8 touchdown passes. So it's a very good situation if Cole Kmet has a big leap in year 2. Another report from OTAs that got me super pumped up was Jermaine Ifedi saying that the offensive line is gelling well so far. And that's big news. Obviously, I believe all offensive starters for the offensive line are there and are present, even the backups. So seeing what the offensive line can do is going to be a big step for the Justin Fields supporters that want him to start week 1 if he's actually able to start week 1, as long as the offensive line is gelling well, playing good football, and they keep progressing and keep improving before that week 1 game. Because like I said in past videos, that is the only way I would want Justin Fields to start if the offensive line is able to protect him and keep him upright. We do not want a Joe Burrow situation here in Chicago. So as OTAs and training camp progress, I feel like I'm gaining more and more confidence with the Chicago Bears team. Before, obviously, at the start of the offseason, we signed Andy Dalton. We're like, what are the Bears doing? Then we drafted Justin Fields. We got Tevin Jenkins. And it's like, now it's starting to shape up. Now we're starting to look in a different perspective. I'm like, okay, maybe we're actually progressing in the right direction for this franchise. So as these practices keep going on, as I'm hearing these reports about how well everyone is doing, I'm starting to gain more and more confidence in this football team. So I want to know this from you guys, Bears fans. Where is your confidence level with this Chicago Bears football team? Let me know down below in the comment section. But before I let you go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram page at Keek on the Mic. And make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, I'll be back for an all-new Bears video right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys.
Sacramento, California, born and raised. In Antelope is where I spend most of my days. Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the Mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.